walking in on a dead body in your rental property. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm Dan, the retired stockbroker. If you've been following my channel, you know I have quite a few rental properties, and I've been doing it since 2005. I've seen pretty much everything. So let me tell you the story about Crazy Richard. I rented my house out, a duplex in Metro Detroit, to this old guy named Richard. Sweet old man. I remember when I first met him, he was wearing a suit. He was at least in his 70s, if not 80s. He rented the property from me for maybe 8, 10 years. Great tenant, paid on time. Really particular, really odd guy. So I remember, I was telling my girlfriend about it at the time, like, hey, I got my place rented, everything's great. He's an old guy, he's gonna be paying on time, and I'm talking about him. She goes, I have a feeling one day you're gonna walk in on him and he's gonna be dead. You're gonna walk in on his body. I thought, you know what, you're probably right, but as long as he pays rent until then, I don't care. Boy, was I wrong. I should have prepared for this. So as the years go by, Richard was paying me rent and it was fine. And this was years ago. So as of now, that rent has doubled. I'm renting his place out for double what I was renting to him. But as the years go by, I didn't really raise his rent much. It was covering my mortgage. I raised it a few bucks here and there. But sometimes I'd go to his house. I'd have to get in there and check something or whichever it was. And I started noticing this guy's a little bit weird. He was a germaphobe. He would open the door with a bunch of Kleenex around his hand and then open it. Even internal doors, like bedroom doors. I thought, oh my God, this guy is kind of weird, man. All right, I kept telling myself, he's paying me rent. I'm in my young 20s at this time, mid 20s. I'm a rookie in this real estate business. I just needed that rent coming in. So I'm like, okay, well, whichever. He's not hurting anything. The house is old. He doesn't care. He doesn't need me to update it or anything. All right, cool. So in this part of Metro Detroit, this area, they have rental inspections. So the city, every other year, will go to your property, walk inside and out, and inspect everything. It's really just a shakedown, is what it is. And sure, it keeps away slumlords. That's great. Everything's up to code. Okay. But it's really a shakedown. It's bullshit. So what the city will do is they'll say, if you don't fix this list of problems, just little bullshit things, if you don't fix these, we're going to sue you and evict your tenant. They will literally evict your tenant for you if you don't follow their codes and guidelines. But the government can tell you to do whatever you want, whatever they want with your rental property. So if they don't like the way your house looks, they can say, fix that or we're kicking your tenants out. Put new windows in, we're kicking your tenants out. Your windows are old, they might be lead-based, paint them, replace them, whichever. They can do that. So I was there with the city, walking the property for their every 2-year shakedown, biannual shakedown. And they're writing me up, you got to fix all this, you got to fix all that. But I'm looking around the house, and Richard's germophobia and paranoia is going to a different level. He had tinfoil with bars of soap sitting on top of it and all over his shelves. I have no idea to this day what that was. He'd have a ton of just chemical germ cleaner, germ killer, and it would just smell like a strip club bathroom. Okay? You ever go in there in like just a sleazy bar bathroom, a strip club bathroom, just bleach smell. They just spray bleach all over. It was horrible, man. So I'm like, oh my God, this guy, and I started thinking more, I'm like, he's getting older. This place is becoming just like a weird mess. He'd have newspapers stacked almost, just about as tall as I am, just lining the walls. And I just kept thinking, okay, the city's going to make me do some little some little touch ups around here, things like that. But this guy's going to die one day. I'm going to be stuck with all this. And it wasn't just germophobia, it was hoarding. Like I said, the newspapers, there were bottles, just stuff stacked up on his table, everything. I thought, oh my God. And I'm still young and my business isn't as big as it is now. So every dollar counted. I needed to have that rented out. So anyway, the city leaves, they write me a report, I fix it up, whichever. The years go on, Richard gets weirder and weirder. One day, I'm at home. Let me paint you the picture. I'm in finance. I'm a landlord. I'm growing that business a little bit more. I'm in grad school. I'm working out. I'm dating my girlfriend. I have a lot going on in my life. A girl from across the street that I knew from high school, she texts me. It's like, hey, Dan, Richard's light's been on for a couple days now. It hasn't turned off at night. And right then, I knew it. Richard's dead. He's in my house, rotting. So I thought, oh shit, all right. First thing next morning, I call the cops. I let them know. Look, I thought immediately call the cops. I am not going there by myself, just from a liability standpoint. What if something did happen? What if he got murdered? I knew it wasn't the case, but just in case, okay? I call the cops. I go there. I go, hey, here's my address. They go, oh yeah, we went there on a like a health checkup. Concerned neighbor called. I don't know what it's called. There's a word for it, but a concerned neighbor called. We went there. We knocked. No one answered. I go, look, guys, he's pushing 90 years old. He's probably dead. So I want you guys to come with me. They go, all right. So I have the key. We go there. The police station's 2 blocks away. I could have walked basically, but we go there, open the door. I go, you go in first. Again, foul play. I don't want anything to do with that. You guys take care of it. Who knows? The second he walks in, he goes, oh, there's Richard. It's like, shit. I knew it. Laying on the living room floor, face up, dead. I thought, oh, shit. I'm walking around. The cops there. They're like, yeah. Let's look through the place, see if we find a trust or contact numbers. I'm just like, all right. So we're literally walking over his dead body and we're looking for contact info. I'm like, look, he doesn't have any family. I've never heard him once mention family. So we're looking, and we're everything, and we can't find anything. We're there for hours with a dead body looking for a trust. Looking for contact, a phone book, something. He didn't have a cell phone. And it stunk. It stunk like somebody hadn't showered for over a month. Just a rotting body that's been there for about 3 days. It was really disgusting. So I go, what now? The cop goes, well, we'll call the coroner. It's going to take a few hours for him to get here. We'll haul the body away. I go, well, what if I can't find next of kin or a contact or a something? He goes, well, it's all your responsibility. I go, what am I going to do with all this shit? He's like, it's yours. If you can't find anything, I don't know, do whatever you want. I thought, oh my God. You guys, his hoarding problem, his level of his hoarding problem just got worse and worse, and there was this junk all over, and the bathroom was full of shit. I'm not making this up. I am not exaggerating. It was horrible. And it was just newspapers and cleaning products everywhere. And there was newspapers on his bed. So he would sleep on newspapers with a blanket over his bed. This guy was insane. And I'm getting worked up and emotional just thinking about this. Because back then, I told you I had all this stuff going on. I couldn't waste any time or money. It was so difficult. So the coroners finally came. They hauled him out. And I was just stuck with the house full of shit. So I go across the street down a little bit. I get a bottle of liquor. There's a wine store down there. I pour up and I just get to going through all of his stuff. And it's nothing. It's nothing valuable. It's nothing interesting. It's nothing. I found a few old pictures. Here's what I found valuable. I found a mag light, a silver dollar, and a nice extension cord. That's all I kept. So I was there all night. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I have so much stuff to do in my life. So the next day, I carried on with my day and I went there after work. I went back there at night and I started calling junk hauling companies. And I set it up so a few days later, a junk hauling company came. I said, everything you see in here, throw out, including the refrigerator, including the stove, everything. I need to replace everything in here. Everything that wasn't bolted down, they took and they threw out. They got it out of there. The place smelled like shit. I was stuck ripping up the carpet. I ripped up this carpet and it was just probably 20 years old. And I had a mask on, but I ended up coughing for 2 weeks later. 2 weeks ripping this garbage up. I was sick. It was horrible. I eventually renovated the place. All of my money I put in there. I was broke after. I rented it out. I increased the rent. And today I'm renting it out for double, like I previously said, double of what Richard was renting it for. So, this experience, what did it teach me? And immediately after it, this is what I did. My other tenant, this is a duplex, my other tenant upstairs, I got her family, all of her contact info for all her sisters, all her family. I made sure this is never going to happen to me again. So, what you need to do if you have an old person living there, get all the contact info. Who should I contact in the event of an emergency? Make sure they can come and get all the shit out of there. It was a horrible experience, but I learned a lot. Also, I know you don't want to interrupt, I know you don't want to disrupt the tenant. You got that money coming in. But you have to make sure he keeps his place somewhat clean. A hoarder? That was my fault. This is all my fault. I should have told him, throw that shit out. This is a fire hazard. You can't have this here. If you don't like it, leave. But I couldn't because I was young. I was starting out. I didn't have money. I couldn't have a vacancy at that time. So he should have cleaned up. I should have had contact info for any nieces, nephews, anything. I should have known he had to trust where everything goes to, who to call. It's my fault. But I learned a lot, guys. Hopefully you don't make the same mistake. I've been in this business for 17 years now in real estate. Like I said, I've seen it all. I can't wait to share more stories with you. So let me know your experiences. Have you ever had a tenant die in one of your properties? Let me know what you think and leave your comments below. Thanks a lot.